It, on a national basis, it'll be interesting to see what the new administration does with the Department of Health and all these things. And who's the head of these departments, and we'll know that, I think, relatively soon, if anything will change. I know the trend is to turn things back to the state. And I think the state, Emily probably can attest to it, the state does a lot of things for us and to us and with us. So we'll see where that trend continues with higher levels of government. Anybody else have anything in regards to local? Is everybody staying healthy? Schools, are schools being okay?
Mostly.
Okay.
Some whooping cough, right? But
okay. One thing that I have great concern about with public health and maybe our schools is this free breakfast stuff. And I know it's all over the ballpark. And I don't know, Emily, if you've had a chance or anything, and Dwayne, I ask you because you're at the school, what kind of foods are being, prepared and given to these kids? Because I hear these articles about childhood obesity, and it was really disturbing the other night to hear an article on a news show about using these weight loss drugs in children. And these are lifetime drugs that we're not my concern is we're not addressing lifestyle, diet, and life choices. We're using, and I've said this before, we're a pill society. We want a pill to fix everything. And the idea was, and I'll share this, and I've shared it before, I got little kids in grade school. One of the grade schools in St. Paul, they remodeled their school and they actually built a kitchen, a working kitchen. So most of their food is prepared there by cooks and everything. I have another one in two other schools, and most of it is prepackaged. I hate to say, maybe sweet rolls or such. I can't say for sure. I really need to go and have lunch with them. But that's what I'm told by a 10-year-old, that it's, Grandma, I think this has a lot of sugar and preservatives in it. And I said, I think you're right. So locally, I guess I would put the onus on public health to monitor or check. What are our schools serving? Is it nutritional? Is it good food or is it junk food? And the other thing too, to me, is it wasted? Are we wasting a lot of it? Is it being taken and chucked? I know some schools will say if a kid takes something and it hasn't been touched, they put it on a sharing table and some other student can take it and such. I don't know what our local schools are doing, but I am concerned because we have an obesity problem in this country, and it's going down lower and lower into kids, and we can't start them on drugs at 10, 11, and 12. So public health, I'm putting it on you. All right, there's my sermon for today.
I don't disagree. You see this a lot. In fact, there's a lot of speculation that even the American Diabetic Association, their prescribed diet is exactly what would give you diabetes.
Yeah.
Bowl of oatmeal in the morning, and it's so far fetched. And I think the FDA, there's speculation that is bought, and you look at the food pyramid and how dead that whole concept is, all the way down to the food pyramid being bought, because that's why at the top where it says candy and sweets, they were sued by the sugar industry because they couldn't have any particular symbol that looked like somebody's candy, right? I mean, this whole thing is so bought out, and so you're right. What's considered food is not food, and then the proof is in the pudding when you look at the world studies as to where American health falls. We're supposed to be the most progressive nation when the FDA is supposed to be protecting us, but yet where we rank number 16, I think, in health in the world.
It's down there.
And so you can't argue it. You can't argue that the FDA doesn't need an overhaul. You can't argue that these things need to change, and what we consider healthy is probably not healthy. And that's been a concern of mine for many, many years, especially with the rise of ADHD. You just can't argue these facts. It's just here. So at some point, it needs to get overhauled, because if the government is in charge of telling us what's healthy, they're failing. And that needs to change.
agreed.
All right. So you go to the lunch or
It's
breakfast.
highly packaged, highly processed food. They do have apples every now and then and things like that, but it's highly packaged, highly processed.
Okay. All right.
And the bigger problem is when we take the importance of the parents learning and educating and doing these things, and we put it into the hands of government, we now rely on the government to make the good decisions, which in itself we've done, and the track record is poor. Because now it says, well, I don't need to concern myself.
Somebody else.
Somebody else is going to concern that for me. And then we really don't teach the kids, we don't pass down what's truly important, and I think that's been the trend. So to me, first of all, there's nothing free. We're all paying for it. And when you don't pay for it, you tend to be more wasteful, rather than mom saying, hey, no, you need to finish those eggs and bacon. Now it's, hey, finish that non-nutritional sweet roll at school. Well, you don't want it? Okay, throw it in the garbage because somebody else paid for it. So I think it just sets a precedence of dependence, and it sets a precedence of a continued precedence on accountability. You don't have to be accountable.
Okay, so maybe we'll do some follow-up and stuff. All right, thank you. All right, moving into number 4, consent business. We have 4.1, approve the 2025-2029 master grant agreement between Minnesota Department of Health and Community Health Board. We have 4.2, appoint Emily Volkman and Eric Musengai as agents of Community Health Board. And 4.3, approve amendment to the Children and Youth with Special Needs Follow-Along Program Grant Administration. Do I
I'll
have any
move to
questions?
approve all 3 items.
Okay.
I'll second.
You have a second. Motion by Commissioner Myers, vaguely. Emily, do you have any highlights you want to? Was there any significant changes? It didn't look like those are.
No, there wasn't. It was just kind of our blanket overarching grant agreement with the county and the state.
Right, right. And I will plead, and I have at the last SHAC meeting when the Commissioner of Health was there, is just, quit divvying up all these dollars. Figure out some formula and then we'll figure out what works in our own communities, because communities are greatly different across the state of Minnesota. But okay, so we got 4. Any other discussion or questions?
With 4.3, with the follow along program, just for some additional context, that essentially all this is moving the follow along funding from the Title V Maternal Child Health Block Grant over to the CISION grant, which is much more aligned with early intervention and detection of childhood developmental issues. And then the funding did increase for us from about $2,100 to $5,700 a year. So,
Right, a small
Yes.
increase.
Yeah.
I would note, I did see, and I think they just copied and pasted, there was a wrong name on one of the documents. It still had the previous administration, page 60.
Okay, thank you.
Just so that we make sure we get the right signature on it. We hate to mess the state up or anything, or ourselves up. Okay, so all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Okay, approved. General business, 5.1, receive overview and provide direction on cannabis and substance prevention funding. And was that something that was sent out in the wee hours?
so
Or early?
I'm going to propose we table that to our next meeting, and I will work on preparing our grant checklist to go along with this information so we can hopefully approve all of that at one time versus learning about it today and then maybe approving it at our next meeting.
Madam Chair?
Yes,
Yeah.
Commissioner Meyer.
Okay, so I did like speed read.
Oh,
the
look at you.
documents. And the one was the last email you sent, which was like the rationale and recommendations.
Is this what was?
From Shaq.
Yeah,
Yes.
those are Shaq's,
Thank
not
you.
yours.
Thank you.
Yes.
And when you come back, will you give us what your recommendations are?
So the work group is going to go make those recommendations to SHAC. And then certainly I honestly haven't had the chance to look through all 46 of the measures yet because they just came out end of last week.
Yeah.
But yes, absolutely. I can bring those to the next board meeting.
I move to table this item.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second, motion by Commissioner Meyer, second by Commissioner Vagley to table. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay, we'll table. And this, I think Heidi just presented us with what was in the emails. So this is what we're going to look at and discuss next time. Commissioner Vagley.
Is there enough time in a 15-minute county health board meeting, or should we either allot more time or? move
For the
it?
cannabis information, yes, there should be adequate time.
Adequate
It's pretty broad and we get to make a lot of decisions about things. So there's not a lot of detail with the grant itself at this point.
Right,
In a 15-minute meeting, that'd be enough time to do
Yeah.
that. Okay, perfect. That's why I see if you needed more time, a lot.
Perfect.
right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we'll put it on the next agenda. 5.2, approve of applying for newborn screening equipment grant. And Emily, what?
So essentially kind of what this grant kind of popped up on top of some work we were already doing in public health, working with our Amish community to try to do some interventions with newborn screenings related to looking for any kind of hearing deficits or congenital heart defects. And this grant essentially is an opportunity for us to seek funding for the equipment that would be needed for that work. So it's funding up So there's actually two different grants, one for the hearing equipment and one for the oximetry equipment. And essentially what the grant would pay would leave about $217 for county responsibility, which we were already anticipating moving in this direction. So the fact that this grant kind of fell in our lap as a funding opportunity is a bonus when it comes to those things. Yes, please.
And we would potentially be able to pay for that remaining funding out of the TANF grant, so.
So you said hearing equipment, you said something else I didn't,
Yep, so it's hearing screening equipment and then oximetry testing, so looking for blood oxygen levels, which is a screening tool for congenital heart defects.
oh, okay, all right. And I know in the past, we've had a very good working relationship with the Amish, and that is continuing.
Yes, we're very actively involved with the Amish community, particularly with the midwives that are doing a lot of the out-of-hospital births. And this grant is specifically for folks that are birthing outside of the hospital and are not having newborn screenings done.
Okay.
So in our county, obviously, the vast majority of that population is made up by the Amish community.
Sure, okay, all right. So this is just applying, we don't know for sure that we've received it, we have to ask.
Yes, I'm asking for permission to apply.
All right,
I'll move to approve.
Second.
okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Meyer, seconded by Commissioner Olson to approve applying for the newborn screening equipment. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Okay, approved. Is there anything else that should come, Commissioner Bagley?
What you and Commissioner Elsie were talking about is something I think that is very important, the topic of school food, et cetera. Maybe that's something we should either have as a committee of the board, or maybe Health and Human Services, or we should allot more time for that and maybe invite more people in for that discussion, because that is a really important issue.
Yeah.
But that's just,
Yeah.
I'm not sure if we could squeeze it in 15
Well, it
minutes.
might be an important issue. I believe that there are federal laws that regulate the school. And
Right.
I have made it a policy over a number of times that it is not my job to interfere with other jurisdictions. Therefore, I don't really think that the county has the ability to control what the school does. So I am thinking that this is a fine conversation just for the sake of it, but to spend county time on it or to spend county staff time on it, I think is really not appropriate, because it is not county business.
Well, I respectfully disagree. We are the Community Health Board. We talk about this at SHAC. We talk about childhood obesity, and that's under our purview. And I think this is a direct link to it. And I think it's something that we can have a voice in and express concerns. And yes, it is a highly regulated federal program and state program. But how can my one school cook and make their own food and the other school brings in bags of donuts?
And I
You know?
don't view it as us wagging our finger and saying.
No.
It's because we're all in the same boat. We're working within the same parameters. And you're so right. It's highly controlled and dictated by the ag bill and everything else. But the county has been talking with some of the food nutrition directors of like farm to school projects. And
Yes.
they are interested in new ways of doing things, but they are also limited and their hands are tied as well. So I don't think it's a blame discussion. It's more like, what can we do to maybe possibly
This is that education piece.
partner together?
Partner
But I
education
really
and
do have an issue with Commissioner Ward telling our public health director that she has some responsibility to try and change what the school is doing, because I don't think that that is her role, and that isn't a message that I, as a county commissioner, want the county to send forth.
It should be more of a discussion, agreed.
I don't think the intent, at least my
No.
intent was not to tell anybody what to do, but it was just more to bring light to the current topic. What are we seeing? The rise in autism, the rise in these problems, and it's a real thing. And, if this is a health board, I guess, the prevention thing is
And we work together and help you.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And it also might be an issue that ought to come through the Health and Human Services Advisory Committee
Yep.
as opposed to necessarily
Yep.
rising from us.
I've got a member here, and I think she's taking it all in, and she's got children, and again, yes, I'm not telling Emily that, but I think she is a conduit to gather some information and work with the partners at the schools. So I just think it needs some more research and some more thoughtful
And I agree
discussions.
that the Health and Human Services, that's a good item for a future agenda as well, with more time as well.
Yep. You notice we don't have donuts anymore. Be healthy. All right. Any other things to come before the county board? Motion to adjourn would be in order.
so move.
Second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Elzine, second by Commissioner Vagley to adjourn. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. We're adjourned. Thank you.
All right, and with that, we'll call to order the normal general business meeting. Please rise for the same and the pledge of allegiance. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning, everyone. The first order on every county board agenda is public comment. If there's anyone present or online who would like to share any thoughts with the county board, each person has 2 minutes to speak. If you wish to speak, please state your name, your address slowly so we can record that, and then we'll have a timer on the board. Is there anyone present or online that would like to address the county board? I'll ask 2 more times. Is there anybody present or online that would like to address the county board? And one final time, is there anyone present or online that would like to address the county board? Hearing no one, we'll close the public comment section. The next item on the agenda is items 4.1 and 4.2 to approve county board minutes from October 22nd and the closed session also from October 22nd.
So moved.
I'll second.
Motion by Commissioner Elzines, seconded by Commissioner Meyer. Any discussion? All's in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Item 5.1, 5.2, 5.3, 5.4, and 5.5 is to acknowledge the receipt of different committee minutes. Planning Commission from September 19th, the Board of Adjustment from September 19th, Road and Bridges from April 16th, Whitewater Joint Powers Board from August 15th, and the Economic Development Authority from July 25th.
Move approval of acknowledgement.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Ward and seconded by Commissioner Elsing. Any other discussion? All's in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Item 6, consent comments and approval of the agenda. Commissioner Elsing,
Just some comments at the end, please.
Commissioner Ward,
Comment at the end. Thank you.
Commissioner Olson,
Nothing for me.
Commissioner Meyer,
Yep, I have a request for board action.
Ms. Holding.
Nothing, sir.
Mr. Kranz, are you the county attorney's office today?
Yes.
I apologize. I think
I
you'll
saw.
probably be joining us later, I'm guessing.
He was in the hallway.
Is there anything you have for the normal business agenda? Okay.
It are we expecting that the county administrator's on, I'm sorry, county attorney Sondland will be joining us?
Yes, she's in the
I
hallway.
see, I thought I seen her.
Yeah.
Okay, with that,
I'll move to approve the consent agenda as it is slightly.
motion by Commissioner Meyer, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Olson too. Was there a modification? I
No,
apologize.
Comments at the end. And
Oh, yeah, okay,
But that's,
Yep.
but that's standard. so
Yeah, perfect,
I
thank
don't
you.
consider it.
Code, I'll make sure I didn't miss something. I thought maybe I missed it. So motion by Commissioner Olson, second by Commissioner Meyer, right? To approve the,
Opposite.
Opposite.
Yeah.
I was with you.
with the agenda with the comments at the end. Any discussion? All's in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Ms. Holte, could you read the consent comments into the record?
Will do. 7.1, approve advertisement for 2025 official newspaper. 7.2, approve LG 220 gambling application for exempt permit Winona Sportsman's Club. 7.3, approve 2025 to 2029 master grant agreement between Minnesota Department of Health and Community Health Board. 7.4, approve amendment to children and youth with special health needs follow along program grant. 7.5, accept certificate of performance and authorize final payment for 2024 chip seal project. 7.6, approve amendment to 2022-2023 natural resources block grant agreement. 7.7, approve professional agreement with TriMin Systems and Minnesota County's Computer Cooperative for maintenance and support of integrated financial systems. And 7.9, confirm payment of disbursements.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve the?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Olson, seconded by Commissioner Meyer. Any other discussion? All's in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. That takes us down to item 8.1, correct? Appoint 2025 AMC delegates, and that's on page 87. I think what we have listed is the current appointments.
Right, the 2024.
Should we continue with, or is there a proposal to alter any of those?
Well, I have a question. Commissioner Olson, is there something that you would like to step forward and be an active participant in?
I think if everybody's comfortable with the current list, I would go with the current list.
I'm comfortable with how it is. I follow the public safety discussions. I haven't been able to attend the meetings in St. Paul or et cetera, but I follow the discussions. So we would need a motion to either make an amendment or to approve the existing appointments.
I'll move that we approve the existing appointments.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Meyer, seconded by Commissioner Olson to approve the existing appointments. Any other discussion?
Well, I'm sorry, I do have a question. I know some of the, and maybe Ms. Holte knows, I know some department head groups have their own kind of little groups that actually do set, have input in policy at the state level. So I think, is there any reason to change? I'm sorry, I lost my page here. So we have 2025 AMC voting delegate appointments. So we do have yourself, which is important. We do have Eric Musengai as a delegate, but I don't know that they're particularly assigned to a committee, one of our AMC committees, and I don't think that you have a vote in those committees. So what I'm referring to is like when I attend and I'm general policy, we have a check-in sheet and each county has a representative, but we only get, one vote.
Right. My understanding, Madam Commissioner Ward, my understanding is that if the representative as county commissioner is not able to attend, that the person designated as the delegate could vote on your behalf.
Okay, all right.
That's my understanding.
I think I agree with that. So it's important to have yourself and our health and human services. I'm just wondering if there's anybody else that should be added to that list. Are you comfortable with that list if some of us can attend? Such as like now Commissioner Vagley is, you said you follow it, but I
Right.
appreciate you can't say. So public safety, would we want to put anybody or who? I guess we need to check who our alternates are. We're the primaries as listed there. Then who are our alternates from our county? And I would want to make sure that we have representation on these things if the main person cannot attend. So we could just follow up with who the alternates are. And if we need to change something, then we need to change something.
Yes.
Okay. And then I would like to know too, because I think the human service people have their own lobby group. Public health, I don't know if they have, you have a group. I think the Sheriff's Association has a group. I guess I'd like to know all these subgroups and then who, and county attorneys, yeah, I think you have your group. Who all these groups are and then who is representing Winona County within these groups? Because I think I know, but I'm not 100% sure. I think that would be, have some value to know.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yep. I actually just completed a survey on, I believe it was AMC representatives. So basically they sent a spreadsheet and I just updated all the names. of
Yeah,
people
okay.
that we've had turn.
Sure, okay.
Yeah, it's good to update in terms of the statewide associations, good ones, and yeah, good point.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Any other discussion? All those in the favor to reappoint the existing members, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. That takes us then down to communication. So Commissioner Elson.
Just a couple things. Happy Veterans Day, I guess, yesterday. We're very thankful. I employ several veterans and very thankful to have them on staff. So, second of all, thank you for everybody that voted, record turnouts again. And, so that was wonderful to see that message is getting out. Congratulations to Commissioner Olson on his victory. Also, we passed the levy, so that's a wonderful thing. We just wanted to thank everybody for all the hard work and teamwork and getting out and talking with people on that. And then just, I'm already receiving the phone calls and the messages about, okay, we passed the levy and now we should have this extra funding, et cetera. Let's not reduce it by so much and go, spend on this project or that project. But again, we made a motion, to hold true to what we said we were going to do. And I promised that up and down the road everywhere I went. I think that was probably the number one thing I was asked is, are we going to hold true to actually reducing the levy? And so, although I appreciate the input, I believe we got to stay true to what we said we were going to do. So I think that's everything that I have.
Thank you, Commissioner Ward.
Okay. Commissioner Elsing, yes, the big thank you to the voters who voted for our quarter-cent sales tax. I think, I know Commissioner Vagley worked on a number, and Commissioner Elsing and all of us approach groups, and I think that was good. I was very interested in the feedback I got from different people who I didn't think would support it that did, and I thought that was good. I do hope, though, we have some follow-up with the consultant that we hired. I think we could have fine-tuned some things. I think some messaging could have been maybe a little different. So I would like maybe at some point just a phone conference or something with them. And I would like to analyze the vote, and I think we'll get to do that tomorrow. Because it didn't pass by a lot. It wasn't huge, but it passed. And I would like to know the voting where we failed to gain the support for it and not moving forward. And it was interesting. Several of them passed throughout the state and several did not. So, I mean, it's a mixed message of people wanting what kind of taxes they want. So maybe just a follow-up with the consultant and how they felt, and then some feedback from ourselves, how we felt that campus vote. Thank you.
Is that it?
Yes.
Commissioner Meyer?
The county put out their RFP for the comprehensive plan to hire a consultant. That happened in October, and it looks like the deadline is November 15th. I am wondering if anyone else is interested in getting an update on some of the information that's in here about the plan, about how it's going to go, what the cost of the consultant might be, some of that information.
Yes. Yes.
So I think it goes on the committee of the board, and then we get 3 votes, and then maybe as an actual presentation from staff.
Anything else, Commissioner Meyer?
Nope. That's it.
I also am echoing what other commissioners have said, but I'll say it as well. Happy Veterans Day to everybody. I took part in the 24-hour vigil yesterday, and maybe next year, this is my fault, I didn't give anyone any advance notice. Sometimes different groups show up. Like, for example, I was there at 6 a.m. in the Lewiston Post. American Legion was there as a group, and sometimes firefighters come, or sometimes other groups of people come. So maybe next year, I should, if I think about it ahead of time, and see if any other commissioners or county staff might want to go. Also brought down about 360 juniors and seniors from the high school. We marched from the high school to Veterans Memorial Park. We had a drum line, we had an honor corps with flags in front, et cetera. It was pretty neat to see. So happy Veterans Day. And thank you to everybody who voted. And also a big thank you to our staff, because I think I heard that they worked 22 straight hours on election day, et cetera. So a huge thank you to our staff for making Minnesota not perfect, but one of the best states in the country in terms of voter integrity, voter security, et cetera. So I think that's it then.
Move to adjourn.
Motion by Commissioner Woolman, seconded by Commissioner Meyer. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So do you want a break, or should we just keep going right to committee of the board?
Just keep going.
Okay, let's, so then we will open the committee of the board, and the one item on is, well, listed as 11.1, discuss large-scale dog breeding operation.
So I'd ask for that to be put on the agenda, and I guess I'm looking for approval to bring it forward. For the next,
Got a motion?
Yeah.
Oh, no, we don't.
no, we don't make motion. Need 3.
But I support that. And what you're, just for clarification, what you're saying is you'd like to put it on a regular board
Right.
agenda.
We're not discussing anything today. So I'd also support the discussion at the board level. Anything else at this point, Commissioner Ward?
Well, a question is process and timeline. So the Planning Commission has not finished their work on this issue. So are you trying to circumvent the Planning Commission's role? Or what's the intent?
Didn't they have to table something? That's what I
Yes,
thought.
it was tabled at the Planning Commission.
I was at the meeting.
So are you trying to circumvent their
Bring
process?
it forward for a discussion.
But are you willing to allow the Planning Commission to finish their work on it? Or are you trying to move it forward fast?
We can
I guess
have a
is the
board
question.
discussion. That's what we can have.
Well, and it was tabled to the next planning commission
Yeah,
meeting.
just a month or something, wasn't it? What I understood.
There was
So
no
they could-
date given.
There was no date given.
Oh.
It's kind, it being at, of
I don't
course,
think
I
they
was,
had, or they barely had a quorum. I think Mike was, a bunch of people were gone or something, and they just said.
Doug, do you know when it was tabled until, or was it undefined?
It was undefined. It will be on the agenda for this month's planning commission on cannabis.
Okay,
I'm just curious what they would have to say, I guess.
That meeting will be before our next meeting, so if they choose to move on it, we'll know
okay.
by the time it comes back to.
A lot of comments, but there wasn't a discussion or decision.
no.
Yeah, okay.
Like, just sooner wait, but that's fine.
Okay. That's it for committee of the board, correct?
Correct.
Then we,
Well, wait, did we have three?
yes.
Yeah.
Okay, you got three. Okay.
So then we conclude committee of the board and then we go into closed session.
Yep. Yes.
Okay.
Is that here or are we going to another room?
Next door.
We're going next door.
Are you gonna say it out loud?
Yeah, what,
So do we need to officially
You have to
adjourn
read.
committee? of the board?
Yeah.
yeah, and then you need to read
Yep.
that verbiage.
So I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved?
Motion by Commissioner Olson, seconded by Commissioner Elton to adjourn the committee of the board. Any other discussion? All, I'm sorry, Commissioner Sal, I'm sorry, Ms. Simon.
Yeah, I'm not there yet. Not going there.
That's like
This
public declaration, you're not
Right.
running for
I
county.
am retiring.
Maybe
and-
statewide.
Yeah, okay. Can you also detail why you're going into closed session? It's on
Yeah.
the thing there.
Yep.
Thank you.
Read that.
I'll adjourn first and then I'll read them. So, any other discussion about the committee of the board adjournment? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Nay. So we are going, the county board is going to go into closed session pursuant to Minnesota State Statute 13D-05 and subdivision 3C3 to develop or consider offers or counter offers for purchase or sale of real or personal property at 121 Buck Street.
Going next up.
Yep.
Are you ready?
No.
Oh, just.
You know something we don't hold it
You're
there.
not attending.
I know.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
okay, well, before you leave, I have a separate question.
Okay.
Sorry, it's room 20 downstairs.
Room what?
Commissioners. Room 20 downstairs at the, right next to the lunchroom.
Right.
Thank you.
Yep.
Lunch and breakfast menus from the kids to bring that.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Informational and possible future.
And what I'm thinking is,
Menu from the jail.
yeah, and has stuff to do with the, you know, so that board does have a bit of.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I just, I
Just continue to.
totally,
Yeah.
you know, so.
And I'm like this idea of very much.
Nutrition directors.
It's labeled wrong.
Yeah.
It's-
They want support.
They want to do more. They
They want better.
They're interested in that.
Yeah.
And we're paying.
We will take this, and this.
Maybe my kids.
Yeah, but that's not
Breakfast, you know.
yeah, true.
They're taking my money and making decisions. The decisions they're making.
Well, a lot of people don't know.
No, Bob takes Ozempic and he takes, or something like that, for his diabetes, and he has lost a lot of weight. He's-
Yeah.
I mean, what about education programs, like, you know, can they concentrate properly without good breakfast in their?
Well, yeah.
You know?
But it's, when you start seeing the index, so good dairy nutrition and human nutrition, remarkably similar. And when you understand protein and energy balances and how that works, people, the problem with these weight loss, Ozempic and things like that, the first thing the body metabolizes, you've got a 20-minute reserve
I'm gonna talk about.
of basically stored energy. After that, it goes after lean muscle.
Yes,
Before fat.
yes.
Yeah.
yes.
So
people
if
feel
you,
that they're
you,
losing
you
muscle mass.
degrade it so fast,
Yeah.
and the same thing
When
happens.
they're
in
talking,
energy.
there's
So you have to.
giving it to kids.
Show up to the committee meeting.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And what was weird is, I know, and this is where I gotta talk to Ross. Because they needed more people. And
Well, and Amber is like the expert when it comes. Ebb and flow, like they get routine requests in certain areas. I'm interested in that, like, so they, it kind of, it's written in their, you know, their rules about what can and can't be approved, but if you apply for something in January versus November, the response may be different,
Right.
so.
right. So I'm gonna bubble that up from us to the girls that are in. Something there.
Sounds good. All right, thank you so much.
Yep.
See you later.
Yep.
So,
Yeah, so I wanted to put that on the agenda for and we're not. But, she would want it on that agenda because everybody. And she wants